All right, greetings. Welcome back to Blackburn News, where everything is connected, and all the viewers are smarter than the average bear. What's going on? How y'all feeling? Victory Jen checking in from Twitter. Thanks, Victory Jen. It's just that easy. You get up in the chat and you send me a chat so I can read it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how that works. I can't get the chats from Rockfin. I get them from YouTube and from Twitter. Anyways, welcome. We got some people in the YouTubes. John, Gregory, Deebs, Bella, Extra, Bulla. So, a couple of folks on Rockfin. Brenda, Osama. I'm sure there's some folks over on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you know what to do. If you're on Twitter, you know what to do. Like, retweet, send me a chat. Stuff like that. See if I can find. Let's see. Holy shnikes. You get off Twitter for a couple of hours and all kinds of stuff goes down. This is France right now. France doing their part for, what the heck is going on here? Doing their part for, what the heck is going on? I can't get Twitter to load. Doing their part to add into the extreme weather type stuff happening. This is what they're driving through. I don't really understand the people that say stuff like make the weather better. Right. The climate super skeptics that are always talking about these, the supposedly the silly climate budgets to make the weather better. I mean, like, the weather actually kind of sucks. Now, they're not going to make the weather better because it's a bigger process than that. You can't throw $1 billion at this problem and fix the weather, I guess. I mean, you could try, I suppose. Got some delicious ginger tea going. Yeah. Anyways, the weather's kind of janky, and this will be your town soon. Wherever you live. Wherever you live, this will be you sometime soon. And it's going to suck that they didn't get that climate funding to make the weather better. Anyways. If this hasn't already been you, it will be you soon. But I'm guessing that it's already been some people. Even the people that are like the weather better people. I'm guessing it's been you already. And there's much more of those. We're gonna, we'll come back to the extreme weather videos sometime soon. Mexico's howler monkeys dropping dead as heat mounts. The howler monkeys are dropping out of trees because that's crazy. Threatened howler monkeys have been dropping dead from trees in Mexico's southeastern tropical forest in recent weeks amid a nationwide drought and heat waves that have sent temperatures soaring across much of the country. In the state of Tabasco, where temperatures are it should be hot in the state of Tabasco, the temperatures are unironically hot, where temperatures are forecast this week to surpass 45 C. And I don't see that being a feels like. I think that's a temperature. I think that's a temperature. 45 C is hot as heck. Local media have reported up to 85 deaths, while local authorities have confirmed the trend without providing a death toll. Wow. People are dying due to the heat. People are dying due to the heat. Like, for real. Why would you why would you go out of your way to insist that isn't happening? I don't know. I don't get it. How come I don't have any okay, hold on, sorry. Anyways, in a statement this weekend, Tabasco's Civil Protection Agency attributed the deaths to dehydration. A source from the agency told Reuters on Monday that monkeys have been confirmed dead in 3 municipalities of the state. In a forest outside Camocalco, Tabasco, volunteers collected the corpses of mantled howler monkeys. Is it people dying or is it howler monkeys dying? I can't tell. I guess it's just howler monkeys. 85, though. Threatened howler monkeys. That's a lot of monkeys. Anyways, in a forest outside Camocalco, Tabasco, volunteers collected the corpses of mantled howler monkeys, Alouata pileata, that died from high temperatures before placing buckets of water and fruit to try to stave off more deaths. The mantled howler monkey is classified as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List. It is because the heat is so strong. I've been visiting the States for a long time, and I've never felt it as much as now, Mexican President AMLO said, who hails from Tabasco, said on Monday when asked about the monkey deaths. So yes, we have to care for the animals, and yes, we are going to do it, he said in his regular news conference. Later on Monday, Mexico's Environment Ministry said in a statement that it was coordinating efforts to address the monkeys' deaths, which it attributed to several possible reasons, including heat stroke, dehydration, malnutrition, or the spraying of crops with toxic agrochemicals. Or just plain old poisoning. Mexico is also home to the Yucatan howler monkey, which, because of deforestation, is classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List. So there you go. It's hot. And Gene, you've been experiencing the heat too, right? Where you are? Is it still hot or has it cooled down? Have you gotten a break from that? And the weather is all over the place. Where is Hold on, guys. Just trying to find my way. Trying to find my way. Just give me a second. And it is actually getting a little warmer here, so it's getting a little warmer, so things are slowing down, especially my computer. Gene says, yes, it has been very hot. I am fortunate to be high in the mountains, and the cooling rains have started here. Give me 1 second. So Jeff Biradelli has been talking about a heat dome. He's been bringing attention to this, or trying to bring attention to this. Come on. There's a tornado that's in Iowa that's tearing down windmills. Tornadoes just ripping through Iowa. Okay, where is the... I had several of his posts. Where are they? All right, here we go. This is the one I've been looking for. And one day I might be able to get it. Holy shnikes, everything is really just like slowed down on quite a bit. Oh. Hold on, guys. It's moving slow. I might have to open up the garage door and get some more air in here. Oh, thanks, Jay Brandt. I appreciate you. Good to see you. Here are just a few of the eye-popping heat records set across Florida, Mexico, and Central America over the past week or so. And the heat dome will only get stronger this weekend and early next week. So more very hot temperatures. I don't know if there's sound on this. Not sure if there's sound on this. Yep. Hello. Y'all gonna play? The Weather Witness, the channel SOT got booted by YouTube? Why, Giga? The heat domes are back. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, it really heated up in here very, very quickly. And I don't know if that's why everything is going so slow, but anyways, here's another post. Relentless heat dome will not only continue for at least the next 10 days, It will intensify later this week with a 4+ sigma peak. It will be most intense over Mexico. And this is what they're saying brought that crazy wind and storms to Houston, was the edge of the heat dome. All right. Seems to have cooled off just a bit here. And this, I don't know if this is going to play or not. What more? A little more on this. Extreme temperatures around the world. 103 Fahrenheit at over 7,700 feet. Never happened in North America, and it's about 1°C from the world heat record at above 7,500 feet above sea level. Can't rule it out being beaten. I don't get extreme temperatures around the world in my feed anymore. Or maybe they unfollowed me from them. I don't know. I'll follow them again. 39.4 C, 103 Fahrenheit. At Sombrerete, Zacatecas. One of the highest temperatures ever recorded in the world at that altitude, 7,700 feet. Monthly records in Cuba also. Yeah, it kind of seems like it's getting hotter and stuff, you know? Bros. You know, better weather, bros. And we're just going to go through the litany of wild weather going on. What do I think about using aerosols? I mean, well, I don't know that I can give you a short answer. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea, honestly. But we are currently, there are already aerosols in the air that we're currently, pulling out of the air by reducing the aerosols. And then we're talking about the plans for putting them back in the air to keep it's a complicated subject. Bros. Don't be offended. I wasn't calling you guys bros. It doesn't seem, yeah. And then there's the fact that they might actually already be doing it. pretty good evidence that they're already doing it anyways. So, yeah. And we'll, who knows, because it's a secret if they're doing it anyways. We don't really know. We can't gauge the effect on something that they can't give us any data on because it's a secret. So I don't know. It's confusing. But honestly, I'm just not into it. If I can give you the layman's answer. All right. Let's see. This is from Yuma County, Colorado. Last night. I mean, the wildness of the weather around the planet is just astonishing. If you look at it in totality, it's kind of wild. Not kind of wild. It is incredibly wild. Right? I mean, we've got, tornadoes touching down in Iowa. We have hail in Yuma. We've got floods just everywhere. Surreal images coming out of Yuma County, Colorado last night. Incredible amounts of hail. This after hail the size of baseballs with the strongest core of the supercell caused widespread damage in Yuma. Baseballs. Look at that. Look at the amount of hail. That is insane. Oh, you want me to call you dudes? All right. All right. Cool. Sure. Whatevs. I'll call you dudes if you want to be called dudes. All right. Hold on one second. Let's see. Getting a little bit of a breeze in here. It's feeling slightly better. Netherlands today. This is the aftermath of their hailstorm. Wow. Hail, flooded by hail. That's wild. Let's see. This is another one from the Netherlands. It looks like they got smashed. This is from Indonesia. Flooding. Massive, pretty massive flooding in Indonesia going on. Or no, this is not. This is a tidal flooding. Tidal flooding in Indonesia, otherwise known as sea level rise, basically. Sick dudes. All right. An inflatable bear outside a Cuernavaca shopping plaza in Mexico was blown away during a storm on Sunday, with reported gusts of over 50 kilometers an hour caused by a waterspout. So not only is Mexico underneath a heat dome, but they're also getting slapped around by some heavy weather themselves. Bye-bye. Yeah, give us some more likes. Give us some more likes. Jazz Farm says, been busy sending huge storm cells to the Midwest. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this article about insurance. Shall we? Collapse of the U.S. home insurance system. From Sarah Connor, maybe the harbinger of doom is not a giant storm, but an anodyne letter from your insurance company saying, we're sorry to inform you that we can no longer cover your home. Collapse of the U.S. home insurance system. Yeah, one of the early warning signs of economic collapse caused by climate change is the retreat of the insurance industry. Why would they be doing that if it was fake? That's another question I have for the people that don't get it. Why would the insurance company take itself out of business? If climate change was fake, like why would you stop doing your business and stop insuring people? Right? Why would you do that? One of the early warning signs of economic collapse caused by climate change is the retreat of the insurance industry. As mundane as it sounds, the ability to insure housing helps to facilitate mortgage lending and the middle class lifestyle. Without insurance, home ownership would be a gamble for both mortgage lenders and borrowers, and the real estate market would seize. Well, yeah. Moreover, existing individual homeowners with canceled insurance would be at risk of financial devastation in the event of a fire or flood. Unfortunately, this has become a reality today. With increasing natural disasters, insuring property in some areas has become unfeasible. See Miami, see California. Plenty of other places. Once a property becomes uninsurable, its value effectively plummets to zero as it cannot be sold to anyone requiring a mortgage. Say what? No insurance equals no mortgage. No mortgage equals few people can buy a house. Nobody buying houses equals housing market collapse. But the effects aren't limited to disaster-prone areas. To offset losses and in anticipation of spreading disasters, home insurers are jacking up prices for all homeowners. In a recent episode of The Daily, Sabrina Tavernise, a journalist from the New York Times, interviewed Christopher Flavel, an investigative reporter researching how climate change risks collapsing the home insurance market, or are collapsing. Key excerpts, from the interview. Government role in insurance. The government already provides flood insurance because for decades, most private insurers have not wanted to cover flood. But that change, with governments taking over that role, creates a new problem of its own because the government providing flood insurance that you otherwise couldn't get means people have been building and building in flood-prone areas because they know they can get that guaranteed flood insurance. Anecdotal evidence of a housing market impact. Hold on one second, guys. Anecdotally, we've got reports that in places like Florida and Louisiana, and maybe in parts of California, the difficulty of getting insurance, the crazy high cost of insurance, is starting to depress demand because not everyone can afford to pay these really high costs, even if they have insurance. Economic ripple effects. Getting insurance for a home is crucial if you want to sell or buy a home. Shoot, guys. Hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry. I have to attend to something. Give me 1 second. All right. Oh no, I had to. I have some food on the stove, and somebody's supposed to be watching what's on the stove, and they're not doing it, so I didn't want it to burn. That's what happened. All right. Economic ripple effects. Getting insurance for a home is crucial if you want to sell or buy a home. Most people can't buy a home without a mortgage. Banks won't issue a mortgage without home insurance. So if you've got a home that insurance company doesn't want to cover, you got a real problem. Impact of minor weather events. Formerly unimportant weather events like hailstorms or windstorms didn't used to be the kind of thing that would scare insurance companies, but these are becoming so frequent and so much more intense that they can cause existential threats for insurance companies. So, Jesus. I mean, anyways, I don't want to go in on the people that don't believe this thing is happening, but I mean, just this is one of those things that just they wouldn't be doing this, they wouldn't be talking about this if this was made up. Like they wouldn't do it. So one of the things that might indicate that climate change is actually happening is because, insurance is being impacted, home insurance is being impacted because of the frequency of extreme weather events, which you can see every day if you watch this channel, or if you just are awake, or if you're just breathing and want to be semi, observant. Anyways, potential solutions and challenges. The fix that people seem most hopeful about is the idea that what if you could reduce the risk and cause there to be less damage in the first place? The problem is, number one, hardening a home costs a fantastic amount of money. Number two, it takes a long time to actually get enough homes hardened in this way that you can make a real dent for insurance companies. Insurance premium hikes and coverage issues. Some people had faced big premium hikes. Some people had gotten dropped. Some people couldn't get the coverage they needed, but it was the versions of the same tale, which is all of a sudden having homeowners insurance in Marshalltown was really difficult. In Marshalltown, I guess that's in Iowa. When I drove through, I couldn't help noticing all the roofs looked new. Turns out Marshalltown, despite being a pastoral image of Midwestern easy living, was hit by two really bad disasters in recent years. First, a devastating tornado in 2018, and then in 2020, what's called a derecho, straight line wind event that's also just enormously damaging. Well, yeah. Jazz Farm says one of the storms we sent over to Kansas spun up a tornado 4 miles wide. Yikes. Also, Jazz Farm says, if you don't think storms are getting worse, come visit. We have seriously violent weather. Gene says, when weather meets economics, then finally some people notice. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's just so obvious. Really just be extremely insulated, like mentally, to not even notice, like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of crazy things going on, Anyways, on unexpected areas facing climate shocks, one of the really striking things about this data was it showed the contagion had spread to places that I wouldn't have thought of especially prone to climate shocks. For example, a lot of the Midwest, a lot of the Southeast. In fact, if you think of a map of the country, there was no state between Pennsylvania and the Dakotas that didn't lose money on homeowners insurance last year. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Christopher Flavel on the spread of insurance market turmoil. This market turmoil that we're seeing in Florida and California has indeed been spreading across the country in 18 states. Last year, the homeowners insurance market lost money. And that's a big jump from 5 or 10 years ago and spells real trouble for insurance and for homeowners and for almost every part of the economy. Is this the end of insurance? I think it's fair to say we're looking at the end of insurance as we know it. The end of insurance, that means most Americans can rest assured that if they get hit by a disaster, their insurance company will provide enough money they can rebuild. That idea might be going away. And what it shows is maybe the threat of climate change isn't quite what we thought. Maybe instead of climate change wrecking communities in the form of a big storm or a wildfire or a flood, maybe even before those things happen, climate change can wreck communities by something as seemingly mundane and even boring as insurance. Maybe the harbinger of doom is not a giant storm, but an anodyne letter from your insurance company saying, we're sorry to inform you we can no longer cover your home. All right, that's a really good article outlining the economic reality of climate change and what it's, it is really impacting people. I know that I also think that there could be several things happening at once, right? I know a lot of people really like to get into the, they're doing it to us, guys, or that, this is all engineered collapse. And, I'm not against the idea that, again, two things could be happening at once. You could have some forms of messing around with people's economics, and ability to sustain themselves. And, you could actually have climate change. And yes, you do have climate change actually really impacting people in a very serious way, in a very real way. And, both those things together aren't great to be, to have happening at the same time. But the idea that you would discount climate change or negate it altogether, I just think is just at this point, is detrimental to you, right? It's going to get downright, stupid if you're like, this is, it's not going to happen to me, or it's just something, it's the weather going crazy and they're making the weather. And I don't know, who knows, it doesn't really matter whether they make the weather or not. Your butt is going to get flooded out of your home or burned out of your home pretty soon anyway. So anyways. But they're not making all this happen. They're just not making all of this happen. There's just no way. No way. It's no way. That is called the collective damage that we have done. That's what that is called. It's not Dr. Evil. It's the collective damage that we have done. This is what happens when you screw up the planet like we have done. This is what happens. Why? Because this is what has been predicted for several decades. So when it finally gets here, you can't go like, well, they were wrong. No, they were actually right. They predicted it for several decades. It was supposed to be here around the, 2000s, 2020s, or whatever. Here it is. It's here. So why not just accept it and believe it and, get into the business of adapting to it if you can. If there is adapting to it, I don't know. Was there something else? I feel like there was something related. Well, Steph, actually, strangely enough, it seems like the denial, there's several areas of overlap between conspiracy theorists and, / deniers and people who believe that climate change is happening. The overlap is that, renewables are not an answer. The overlap is, fake green tech is not an answer. I think a lot of people can agree on that from both sides of the thought silo, but strangely enough, most people agree like it's kind of a dumb thing to do, I don't know. It's interesting, it's interesting the very wide array of belief in climate change, you know, where it will take you. I mean, I hear people talk about climate change as just a kind of like a, yay, everybody get on the climate change wagon. Right? It's just a thing, like a, right? Just a, some people get into for like community activism, and it's very, very surfacey. And it's all fine and well, but people don't really want to know the reality of it. And it's, because it's unfortunate. Yeah, Jazz Farm farmers and ranchers here all know something has changed. They just aren't willing to say it was human caused. Yeah. Farmers and ranchers absolutely are very in touch with the fact that something is wrong. Definitely. Absolutely. And regular people too. I told you I've had just random people, I don't know why, talk to me about, maybe I just scream. Maybe it's the shirt. I don't know. But people have come up to me just randomly and said, did you know the weather is all messed up? It's just not the same anymore. Like, yeah, I did notice. Anyways. All right. Here's the moment where I say, hey, if y'all like this program, if you like this content, coming to you for free every single day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on Saturdays, if you like it, please consider supporting the channel financially, and I could totally use your support. Lots of ways to do it in the description box below. All the usuals: PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, coffees, etc. Many of you already support the show, and you know who you are, and I appreciate you. Just checking in on Rockfin. A catalyst transforms carbon dioxide from industrial emissions into commonly used chemicals, so industry can continue unabated. Seems to be the angle. Oh, I'm sure. That's interesting. Let's see. A low-cost tin-based catalyst can selectively convert carbon dioxide to 3 widely produced chemicals: ethanol, acetic acid, and formic acid. Excuse me. Lurking within the emissions from many industrial operations is an untapped resource: carbon dioxide. Oh. A contributor of greenhouse gas and global warming, it could instead be captured and converted to value-added chemicals. Okay. How expensive is this process? It's called electrocatalytic conversion, meaning CO2 conversion over a catalyst is driven by electricity. By varying the size of tin used from single atoms to ultra-small clusters and also large nanocrystals. The team could control the CO2 conversion to acetic acid, ethanol, and formic acid, respectively. Selectively, each of these chemicals was 90% or higher. Okay, well, I don't know how this... it's interesting. I don't know how it helps anybody. except for the people making the chemicals. No, sir. I don't think we need it. SRM experiment from northeast of Los Angeles? No, I don't. I haven't seen it. What is it? What is it? There was another pretty bad Boeing disaster. Or no, you're talking about small reactor module. You're talking about something else. No, I don't know anything about that. Is that what you're talking about? Small modular reactor, right. Okay. Let's look at this because this is pretty crazy. A Boeing plane dropped 6,000 feet really quickly and injured some people. It killed one person, I think. Boeing offers condolences after a passenger was killed on a Boeing 777 plane. Says their thoughts are with the passengers and crew. In total, 30 people were injured and a 73-year-old British man was killed. The incident happened after the plane fell a whopping 6,000 feet. Suddenly, the aircraft starts tilting up. Sorry. And there was shaking so hard, I started bracing for what was happening, and very suddenly there was a dramatic drop. So everyone seated and not wearing a seatbelt was launched immediately into the ceiling, a passenger said. Some people hit their heads on the baggage cabins overhead and dented it. They hit places where the lights and masks are and broke straight through it. Holy shnikes. Sorry, you can't see it. I'm also going to say that, well, again, so obviously, like, Boeing has issues and all that, but there's also, and there's, across the industry, the airline industry is, suffering. And what I've been hearing, all not just the aircraft maintenance and construction, but also just everything about the aircraft industry is going downhill because of pressures, economic pressures on the industry. And I'm going to say it's climate change is in there too, right? There's more turbulence now than ever. There have been a lot of in-flight, like, turbulence incidents in the last couple of years, and turbulence is getting worse, and that is a fact. That is absolutely true. That is not something somebody made up. So, combine all the problems the industry has along with the increased level and incidence of turbulence, and it's very scary. Anyways. But crazy story. Look at that. I think there was some more on this. Come on, man. Shocking footage from Singapore Airlines Boeing 777 flight from London to Singapore shows passengers being thrown to the ceiling during a sudden 7,000-foot drop. Fortunately, one lost his life. Our thoughts are those with those affected. I don't know if...
We are diverging to Bangkok. We are diverging to Bangkok. We are diverging to Bangkok.
I don't know. I already dislike getting on airplanes immensely. Now I feel even less good about it. Bella says, haven't seen any hummingbirds yet. My bluebirds are on their second clutch of eggs. Just checking to see. I don't want to miss anybody. If anybody contributed before I sign off. Jazz Farm says, I don't fly. I prefer not to. Once in a while. Got to. All right, y'all. All right, peeps. Anyways, thank you for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. And thank you especially for the conversation. And I'll see you all tomorrow at the regular time of 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight. Thank you all for hanging out today. And until next time, peace.
Thank you.